Welcome to the Nostalgic Multiverse. Hello everybody, Nostalgic here, and welcome to another episode of Mini Views. So, with the intro out of the way, let's begin. First up, we have this version of Batman which has wings and skeleton arms coming out of him. My goodness, does this minifigure look insane. Like, I don't even know what version of Batman this is. Probably an angel of death, not actually Batman. Next we have, well, what I can only assume is a Demon Slayer character because, well, the sword shape says it all, and he also has energy pulsating out of him. But if anyone knows who this character is, let me know in the comments below. Same can be said about this character. From what I've seen on AliExpress, this is from an anime called Warriors of Zodiacs, I think. Don't really know, but still a pretty good minifigure. I do like the wristbands and the belt, if I'm being honest. And last but certainly not least, we have the demonic boy himself, Sonic.exe. This minifigure is excruciatingly cool to look at because of the fact that he has those sharp teeth, the demonic eyes, the blood splatters all over his torso. This screams Sonic.exe. But I am planning on customizing him with some purple shards coming out of him. And maybe even giving him more accurate arms. Not a fan of the blue arms. And also the mold of Sonic is actually based around the GTA model for a Sonic mod. So, there's something. Now that we're done with those Lego minifigs, let's move on to the Thomas stuff, shall we? First, we'll be taking a look at this My First Golden Bear Oliver. Now, this model doesn't work. The only thing that works for him is his eye mechanism. But as for the battery compartment, and even more so, if this guy can talk or not, this guy is completely dead. He is dead, but is still a good-looking model all around. Next, we have the shiny red boy James, a My First James, if you will. I have a talking My First James, but not an original My First James. It's gonna go well with my Thomas and Percy, that's for sure. But it's still a pretty good model. He doesn't talk, he doesn't have eye mechanisms, but hey, what else can you ask out of a very decent Golden Bear model? And last but certainly not least, we have a Tommy Thomas, which actually has a magnet at the back. And if you don't know what the magnet is used for, well, allow me to show you. It's actually used for this troublesome truck and Annie, of which I've had in my collection for a while. Now, there are no other Annies within this collection, but I'm willing to bet that if you got more troublesome trucks, you would just have more troublesome trucks, and that's that. But if you got Annie, you would just have Annies, no Clarabelles. Or maybe you can customize a Clarabelle for this, but I don't know. And there was also, I think, a fourth. Yeah, there's actually a third accessory that is supposed to come with this toy, and it is the jet engine. I don't have that. Who knows? Might find it someday when I go back to the car boot sales. And it's still a good item all around. Moving on. Next up, we have this Tommy Henry and this Trackmaster Rosie. Now, you're probably looking at the top of the Trackmaster Rosie and thinking, this isn't Trackmaster, it's Tommy. First of all, look at the wheels. Then, look at the chassis. Now, when taking a look at the chassis, the copyright says 2009 Mattel. Alright? But when you do open it up, there is actually a Tommy motor in there. That's because I did that. I swapped out the the battery terminal of the Trackmaster, and even more so the motor of the Trackmaster, for the Tomy and battery compartment of Rosie, from a Tomy model that I have that is sun faded to hell and back. And as for Henry, when I first got him, his wheels were... one of them was missing a traction tire. But at least I managed to fix that. I might make an attempt in giving Henry a motor. Because I honestly don't want him to remain like this forever. Like, for example, taking out the battery terminal of this one, replacing the couplings, replacing this battery thing with compartments, couplings, and hopefully Henry will be a good runner. The reason I'm going to do this is because of the fact that I have a broken Spencer chassis upstairs, along with a good working motor. So if anything, it would do good for Henry. And that's basically it. I also got a bunch of Trackmaster track with these guys, but I can't really show it off now, can I? Lastly, we've got these two items. This is just your stock standard Thomas Take-Along truck. Nothing's really special there, but this Thomas, well, I actually found this guy in terrible condition when I first got him. But soon enough, I decided to take out my paint pens and restore him. And I'm going to ask this of you guys. How do you think I did for a restoration of a Thomas model? Let me know in the comments. So with that, everyone, that's going to do it for this episode of Mini Views. This is Nostalgic, signing off and reminding you all that nostalgia never dies.